All right, in the latest episode of Hack My Growth, we're taking a look at AI, content generation, ChatGPT, and the future of SEO. ChatGPT has really taken the content world by storm. OpenAI announced the release of this, and there's been people posting tons of video of the new capabilities seen with this pretty user-friendly form of text generation. So a lot of people have been, making articles and statements about, the future of content writing, the future of SEO, and how does this impact the internet, and all of these crazy things. But we're going to talk about in this video how this is actually not new technology and really what this means for SEO. And does it really mean that we could just outsource all of our content and change everything that we've been doing up to this point? So let's take a little bit deeper of a dive now into the content. So let's start by asking the question, who is OpenAI? OpenAI is a nonprofit artificial intelligence research laboratory, and it's got some pretty famous founders here. You might notice a few of the names, but their mission is to develop and promote friendly AI in a way that benefits humanity as a whole. OpenAI focused on developing artificial general intelligence, like deep learning, things of that nature, reinforced learning, as well as unsupervised learning. Now, we're not going to get into the details of artificial intelligence in this video, but we're talking about how it applies to us as far as SEO and marketing goes. But it's good to know who's behind these tools that we're using so we can understand a little bit of their ethos, why they're creating them, and really what the thought process was in creating some of these different tools. So what is ChatGPT? So ChatGPT, it's an NLP processing chatbot, and it's built off of GPT-3 language model. GPT-3 has been out for quite some time. It's a language model that OpenAI has built upon over different iterations of the GPT project. Now, the thing with ChatGPT is that it can engage in more of a natural conversation with users and generate these coherent responses to most queries. I mean, it's still a computer. And one of the things we have to remember that we're dealing with these types of things is garbage in, garbage out, right? Now, it is powered by GPT-3 technology. That technology has been trained on tons and tons of information from the web. So ChatGPT can be used for a variety of different applications, whether it's customer service to conversational bots and AI, kind of begin that conversation with people and get some pretty interesting feedback and connections. But let's go now to the next step. We've talked about ChatGPT, but what the heck is GPT-3? So what is GPT-3? This is called the Generative Pre-trained Transformer 3, and it's an advanced natural language processing system created by OpenAI. This is the engine underneath ChatGPT. This is the system of unsupervised learning that really is powering these things like human-like text and making it a really good tool for things like summarization or translation or questions and answering. It's widely considered the most powerful language model right now, and it's been used for quite some time. Actually, this isn't something that just got released. What people are seeing right now is the ChatGPT playground, right, which is something that can be used, and right now it's free because it's in a research stage where they're still training it and testing and a lot of other things. But the artificial intelligence behind it has actually been around for quite some time, and it's being used currently in a number of other AI applications. So what are some of the main differences between ChatGPT and GPT-3? Well, the main difference is that GPT-3 is a much larger, more powerful version of what you would kind of see with ChatGPT. You're going to get a much larger subset of trained data when you're accessing GPT-3. It's based on transformer architecture. If you know anything about that, Google made massive advancements when it comes to transformer architecture when we see things like BERT or T5. This whole idea of transformers is really what has opened up the world to see some of these advancements within the realm of natural language processing. So GPT-3 is a fully unsupervised model. They've just fed it a bunch of data, taught it a bunch of data, while ChatGPT is semi-supervised because it has a more specific purpose, primarily in the form of chats and conversational applications, as opposed to GPT-3, which has a wide variety of applications that it can be used for. So as I said before, there's a number of tools on the market right now that are using GPT-3. Drift uses it to power automated conversations with website users. MailChimp uses it for AI content-driven recommendations. Autopilot uses it to automate customer journeys and personalize emails. Contentful uses it Again, for content recommendations, AdEspresso uses it to help power its AI-driven targeted ad engine. So as you can see, this technology is being used. It's being used in the marketplace right now. It's probably being used in tools on this list that you're currently using. You just didn't realize it until they had this big movement and, kind of like blew up in the world of like social media and all these new articles that are being pumped about AI-driven content, especially as it relates to ChatGPT. So let's take a step back for a second. We've said a lot of acronyms. We've talked a little bit about artificial intelligence. Let's talk about why and when we should actually be using this type of technology when it comes to our marketing. And the first thing we have to look at is why AI generated content alone is a bad idea. Well, we've got a few points here. The first off is generated content. It can be inaccurate, misleading, and contain poor grammar and syntax. For instance, it will repeat misspellings when you put misspellings in there. Sometimes if it doesn't have the right information, it can give you wrong information. Like that whole idea we talked about in the previous slides is garbage in, garbage out. So you need to make sure that you don't set it and forget it like a lot of people think you can do. The other thing that you need to be aware of, it's generated using algorithms. So it can sometimes create content that's not relevant to the use or useful to your end reader. So you can't just push a button and post it. You have to actually make sure it makes sense. AI content also can't take into account things like nuances or cultural considerations. So you can create stuff that is offensive. We all have heard of how different bots have been manipulated to do things that maybe have not been so good for society, or maybe just made those bots to be very, very culturally inappropriate in a number of ways. So again, the data that the bot gets is what it's going to spit out. And lastly, it sometimes can lack creativity and emotion and personality, and that really makes it difficult to engage your readers. So what I'm seeing right now are all these people. There's a lot of people out there, the future of content, and we'll never have to hire a writer again. Look what we can do. We can just set it and forget it. The problem is if you don't take these things into account, even these are just some of the things you need to take into account, you're going to have content that's not helpful to your readers. It could be misleading. It really could cripple your authority and your trust with your audience. That is not the way AI content should be used. It's not just to generate content on its own and you walk away smiling because you pushed a button and got something done for you. We can't do it this way. But with that being said, AI is meant to help us. So how can we use AI for content creation? Well, it can assist in a number of ways. It can help you to research topics and generate ideas and start your content out. If you've ever had brain fog, you've been trying to create articles and you're just like so tired because you've just been writing, you don't really know how to start. This is a great thing to use to help you get started, to give you ideas, to generate topics. It can also help you suggest relevant keywords and insights into content performance. AI can be trained to do that. GPT-3 can do that. AI can also be used to identify like the format of content that you should be using, blogs or video or infographics. It can really help you cut down that research time to make better decisions as well, to filter through all that noise because there's so much noise out there. It can also be used to help optimize content. Think of tools like Phrase, right? Another tool that uses GPT-3 is Jarvis. So we can use AI in a lot of ways to help us create content, cut through the noise, do better research, but we can't just push a button and let AI do everything for us. So let's talk about how we can correctly use AI in your content creation. The first thing you need to do, you still need to do keyword research. You need to understand the intent of the terms you're working with. You need to understand what type of content you need to be creating. And you can't just rely on AI. Use your SEO tools, use your keyword research tools, and then go to the search results themselves and see what's happening. Now, an area that AI is very helpful is creating briefs. Once you understand intent and the content, you can use AI to help you build a brief. Then you can use it to help you create drafts. Now, once again, don't ask it to write the entire broad article for you. Don't say, write me 1,000-word broad blog post on X. You're going to get junk. You need to chunk it. You need to make sure you're asking very specific questions if you want good answers. You can't be broad. Again, garbage in, garbage out. And then you have to check with and verify the information, stuff that you know to be true, but also leveraging some other tools. You want to make sure that it's not seen as AI generated content, but it's content that follows along with Google guidelines. Google knows when your content is 100% AI generated, and they will not rank it. In fact, they say that it's against guidelines, and they've been saying this for almost a year now. John Mueller came out in April of 2022 saying, hey, we know when you're doing this, and we're going to punish that content. That content's not going to rank. Remember, this is built on transformers. The major breakthrough in transformers came from the AI team in Google with the implementation of BERT and T5. So Google is very, very well versed in the world of AI. And if you think they can't understand that your content's been created by AI, you're crazy, because they absolutely can. The next step after you create your draft is to do human editing and auditing. You need to make sure that you add your voice. You need to verify the information is correct, and you need to cite references. If you're getting information from people and you're taking information from other websites, you have to give that credit back. You have to cite references. It's essential to good content best practices. You cannot plagiarize other people's content. And guess what? That can happen when using AI. Now, GPT-3 is very powerful, and you can ask some really cool things. You can even say, hey, tell me about this specific topic and give me some references. So it can do research for you, where you can say, all right, I'm going to go read those 4 articles, and here's a summary of those articles, and make sure that you cite those articles if you're using that information in your content. And then lastly, you need to follow SEO best practices before you publish it. Make sure you have the right title tags, meta description, you're using the right content structure, internal links, you're adding in schema markup where it's applicable, things like that. If you follow these best practices, you're going to do really well. So let me show you a quick example as we wrap up this video. All right, so this is Phrase. Phrase is a great tool for writing content briefs. This is not a commercial for Phrase. If you've got another one, use that. We tend to use Phrase here at our agency. And what we use Phrase for is a lot of this stuff, structuring content, trying to figure out what we're writing about, what type of content's ranking, what are some of the parameters that we need to have within our content. So as you can see here, I've got a content brief. Now, some of this was assisted using the help of AI. A lot of it was the AI that Phrase has built in, which helps us, which is really cool. But also some of it was just based on my own experience with leveraging artificial intelligence in the world of SEO for the past 3+ years. Now, like we talked about, we want to use AI to help us build this structure and this formatting, and Phrase can do that for us, which is awesome. Another cool thing, and then we can take that content and start to create it. You notice this is the content that's on our slides that we have just walked through. Almost every one of these paragraphs were generated with assistance of GPT-3. I prefer to use GPT-3 because it's more powerful and I can do a lot more things with it. If you've never really checked out OpenAI and opened an account and really played around with it, you'd be surprised with all that you can do. It's not just creating blog posts, it's summarizing articles, it's helping you write code, it's helping do a lot of things where we can need assistance, things that are repeatable. That's what AI is for. Now, once we've done this article and spit it out, you want to check it. You want to make sure that it is accurate. And you got to do some research on your own. A tool that will help you see how accurate this is going to be is originality.ai. So if I scan this article in here, there's a 50-50 chance that this would be seen as a AI detected piece. That this piece was, this was absolutely generated using artificial intelligence. Now for me, I use this as an outline, I use this as research, and then I put it in a video form. So I'm already adding my own context to it, I'm adding my own spin to it, I'm adding a lot more to this video so that when I am done with this will not be an AI generated piece, although it was an AI assisted piece. So now I can take this, I can build a transcript of this, I can put it on my blog, I can optimize it for search, I can send it to indexing, and I've got a really good piece of content that I was able to do a ton of research on, an area that I already have some familiarity with. I've been using OpenAI for a number of years, and now I can create a piece of content much faster with the assistance of AI, not allowing AI to do everything for me and me hitting a button. So I hope you found this video helpful. AI can be very, very beneficial. ChatGPT is very cool. GPT-3, in my opinion, is even cooler, but there's a whole lot of more things that you can even do, go above and beyond. I love the world of natural language processing. I love the world of artificial intelligence and what we're able to do to help make our jobs flow much more seamlessly. But we can't rely on AI to do everything for us. And one of the things that we do offer here at the agency is SEO coaching. So if you're an agency or you're a site owner that's wanting to start leveraging AI and you're looking for best practices and coaching on how to do that specifically, that's something I'd love to walk with you through. Go ahead and contact me. We have a link in the video description below where you can contact us and get a free discovery session. I'd love to see what you're trying to do, how you're trying to approach it, and give you guys some best practices so that you can leverage artificial intelligence to make your processes better, and doing it in a way that's actually going to benefit you instead of generating a lot of pieces and then none of it getting indexed or doing anything for you. So again, hope you found it helpful. If you got questions, comment below. We'd love to continue that conversation with you. Until next time, happy marketing.